JM Race Engines is a new business in north central Missouri that have you covered from top to bottom for all your engine needs. Purpose-built engines with the correct amount of clearance will get you to the end of any show, whether it's your local shows or on the national level, where you can't be let down by your equipment. With top-level professional machine work to all engines, your choice of build is totally up to you. JM Race Engines will give you the confidence to push your equipment to the max while giving you your preferred horsepower to boot. From LS builds all the way to your exotic level small blocks that your imagination can only dream of, they have you covered.
But it doesn't stop there. They are also a speed shop that carries a variety of heads, carburetors, intakes, plug wires, helmets, and other safety equipment, and the best VP fuel on the market today to take you to the top. So if you're wanting mild build to wild build, let JM Race Engines help take you there. Triple B's Tees offer custom shirts and logo designs for all your apparel and merchandise needs, offering a variety of shirts, hats, hoodies, tumblers, and koozies. Triple B's will work with you one-on-one to personalize and perfect your logo. With over 5 years in the business, 20 years in the sport, they live for Demolition Derby.
Chunk and his crew can bring your imagination to realization with zero limitations. So for all your badass tees, choose Triple B's.
Ladies and gentlemen, Hard Nosed Derby Podcast.
Back in the studio.
Yeah.
With guests.
Yeah.
That's
And
different.
not floating.
And not floating. That is right. We got a couple of boys in here with us. Mid-Mo Promotions. Danny Hobbs, Tyler Virden. What's up, guys?
What's up? What's up?
You've had a long couple weeks, Mr. Danny. Mm-hmm. Danny goes Team Missouri on the team with Wyatt Overly and Gary Robinson to Border Wars, Adele, Iowa. So we're going to kind of go off into that first. How was that experience for you?
Not so good.
That was a loaded question.
Yeah, loaded cars.
How was the experience?
The experience of the facility was good. I mean, everybody was great. I mean, the tech with Rob Baker was not so good. I mean, I feel like there was a lot of favoritism. Just wasn't a good experience.
We have seen this a lot. It pays to have a head tech. One guy making all the fucking decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Danny, you've seen it. You all, whenever I was putting on shows, I might not agree with what Jerry was doing, but he was the one that made the call.
Right.
Like,
Rob come in. I mean, pretty much after we was halfway teched, telling us to load and stuff, and he was arguing with his own techs. I mean, they battled it out for, I'd say, a good 10 minutes. Like, what do we do? Nobody could make a decision. There was no head tech. There was like 5 of them.
that shit don't work.
That's a little contradictory to the episode that we had the very beginning of May before Border Wars. What was going to happen, because last week we didn't hit this stuff last week.
No, because we knew
what was going to happen. Yeah.
And if Rob listens and wants to talk about it, holler.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. But we do have the pre-recorded version of what was said before, and I didn't say anything while we were there, just because there wasn't no sense of me fist fighting too, because I didn't have a car there.
Correct.
But I mean, he said straight up, "Well, people tech the wrong part of the cars. We're not going to worry about a little bit of weld here."
No.
They worried about all the welding there.
100%.
Yeah. Well, I watched the Ray Boys.
Mm-hmm.
When they come back, it took them 3 minutes. That was combined.
With a cutoff wheel.
Yeah.
The cutoff wheel. I was like, this doesn't seem Derby winning.
That's what he griped to me before he even really looked at my car. He's like, his list is too big. I mean, they had 85 tack welds marked. I mean, every time a tech said left side of the car, tack weld, right side, they wrote it down. So my whole list was covered in 10 minutes of a grinder, and it was off. I mean, 90% of the tech list was body.
So all those tack welds that you had,
Mm-hmm.
was that what you were planning on winning the show with?
Oh yeah, it was going to make the car 10 times harder. It's all for looks, 100%. I mean, just to make the fans be like, man, that car looks good. But it
This is what I say whenever I'm like, you watch these guys, they take the wrong part of the cars.
Correct.
Door bar. I mean, I would a hell of a lot rather have seen scope come out, drill bits.
never one time.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
Like 100%, I would way rather see somebody start drilling holes and shit
right.
than being like, if you got 4 inches of fucking door weld over there,
Right.
load that motherfucker.
Yeah. And get,
But this guy's got a piece of tubing behind the DP or, behind an LS shoved against the fucking firewall.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's okay. That's driver safety. But fucking tack welds on your trunk, cut that shit.
Yeah, 100%.
Driver safety.
Or cut a door bar out that's going to protect your feet and hips and stuff like that.
That was my.
I've preached the shit since day one.
I don't. If you're following my rule from 6 inches off the frame, I don't care if you go from 6 inches off the frame to the
Ceiling.
ceiling.
don't give a fuck.
That's your protection.
Okay.
Yep.
No.
And I have said it does not matter what the fuck you do inside the down bars.
No.
It doesn't matter. I don't give a fuck if you weld it solid.
Right.
Between the down bars. If you welded the motherfucker solid between the frame rails, I don't care.
But I ain't gonna
Because you're
make
going to have to fold everything above those down tubes anyway to make any of that matter.
Yep.
You've already done your stiffening with your fucking down tubes.
And that's like his rules on the down tubes. It said 2x6. It never said separate. I mean, we could have welded a whole 2x6 down the frame, and there ain't nothing he could have done about it per rules. But yeah, it was just bad experience.
So it was that point where a lot of those rules need actual definition.
Right.
I think one of the rules is you can mount your rear end in 2 different ways, but it doesn't say the ways.
Right.
So the guys are going there with the rear end mounted. Well, I don't like that.
Right.
Well, what the fuck you mean you don't like that? What's your rule state?
Right. And one thing that got us is it said 9802. You could have a bolt-in packing tray. Don't say packing tray brackets, walk kit bracket. It said packing tray. So Gary, he's like, he's thinking outside the box like always. He's like, he built a 3/8 AR packing tray, bolted in. They didn't like that at all. Rob's like, got to be the brackets. It's not in the rules whatsoever. I mean, it said 100% packing tray. So it's just a disagreement on the rules, and I mean, it is what it is.
And then a disagreement with the guys who were teching said rules, and then disagreement on which line you got into.
100%. There was way 2 different lines. Same exact builds, 2 different cars. I get on my list, got to cut the door bar out. Gary does not. We go cut everything we're supposed to, which we was pressured for time. I mean, we got there. He's like, you got 15 minutes. Not enough time to do what we had to do. Gary goes back up. He's like, you didn't cut your door bar out. He's like, it's not on my list. He's like, well, you should have looked at his list. Like, no, it's 2 different cars. We're not, I mean, we're not together. Like, so 100%.
You should have looked at his
Right.
list.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep my fucking mouth shut.
Yeah.
I guess we're supposed to go around in the pits and check everybody's
Yeah.
list.
Really?
Yeah, so next time I go to a derby, whenever I get my cut list, I'm going to go up to somebody that I didn't fucking know. Hey, I want to see yours, make sure they didn't miss anything on
Right.
No, fucker, cut it. Now, cut it now.
Hold on, let me,
Another thing that got me is, they was pressing us for time real hard. I mean, not saying name, but there's 2 cars. They come in after us. They loaded on their trailer all night long, and then the next day they got to cut their cars. And then they run the derby.
no, we've seen this. I've seen that a couple times. Like, I watched all that shit happen. Another thing that annoyed me a little bit, like I said, not my dog. And did not have a dog in that fight, but cut off 5 o'clock. I had fucking it on fixing these cars and shit, and it was 6:30.
When we were watching cars go back up to the barn, tech barn,
I think I watched one turn around and come back,
Yeah.
and then drive.
then go back up. Yeah.
The fuck's going on here?
Well, between that, I mean, he came back and told, the Missouri guys, he's like, you got 5 o'clock. He said, we were shutting the doors, blah, blah, blah. 5 o'clock.
I watched somebody try to shut the door.
I did too. That's what I was going to say. We're up there, 4:59 waiting. Gary gets brought out. He's like, you know what, 5 o'clock, I'm shutting the door. So he went in there. He's going to shut the door, and they got pissed, kicked him out. But, yeah.
Oh, gee, Rob.
And I completely understand, and you do too as a promoter, not wanting to have a whole book of rules.
Right.
But there's some simple shit that you can put in there and cut down a whole page of rules.
Right.
We finally figured it out because we used to do the 60-inch door bar deal. That's fucking stupid because somebody shows up with a 63-inch door bar, you're not going to load them.
Right.
Well, you didn't load them on that one, so next time they show up with 65.
Right.
You're still probably not going to load them because the tank protector is welded to the back of it. You're not going to have them cut the fucking tank protector out of it. Well, it's easier to go, hey, 6 inches off the fucking rear hump sheet metal.
Yeah.
Or it has to stop at this body bolt. Or whatever. Well, right there, that's a whole elimination. You look back there, you're like, yep, it stops there. Fucking roll on.
Yeah.
No.
Instead of having to pull tape on every one of them motherfuckers. Because you know where it needs to stop.
Right.
To not strengthen the car. I mean, there's a whole bunch of shit, like the whole package trade deal.
Right.
You're allowed watt link conversion, whether it be toast,
Yeah.
brackets, or whatever, and you state that in your fucking rules, it's over. Done.
Or basic 6x6 or something,
Yeah,
Not,
just like that, not bolt in.
Right.
No, we're not doing that.
That's why I like guidelines better than rules. You beat me out.
And rule number 10.
This is a general set of guidelines to help you build your car.
If it doesn't say you can't do it, call.
Yeah.
They don't.
And if it doesn't say in the rules you can, you can.
We've talked about that where the rules will say this is not a complete rule set. Do not read into said rules. If it says you can't, if it doesn't say you can do it, doesn't mean it.
Right.
So
Whenever I see that don't read, I'm like, all right, fuck it.
Yeah. And then they tell you to cut when you get there. You're like, oh.
It said don't read.
Right.
Fuck, I don't know. That's where I stopped.
okay, so let's get past that. That was your a really bad experience for you on the local side or on the quotations national level side. That's kind of 2 national level horse fuckings that you've taken the last 2 big shows you've been to.
Yeah. Blizzard Bash was the first one, and I will never return to that place. Don't care. Like, it was horrible. It was horrible from day one.
You are not the only person.
Yeah, I mean,
It's bad.
you go there. You feel like you're going to prison. I mean, everything you do just feels like somebody's looking at you the whole time. Like, they don't want you there. Honestly, in my opinion. I mean,
Especially when their head compact tech argues with you and says there's not a car in the barn that's built like yours, but you're the one who built it.
we get loaded first day for the same stuff that they already passed. I mean, it was a bad deal.
Favoritism in a lot of places.
I don't want to watch it on. I don't want to watch it on the internet anymore when they run. Like, I don't have nothing to do with them.
I don't know that I've watched Blizzard Bash the last.
I watched this past year just because Court had a team, and then Big D and Blake.
I usually catch a highlight reel somewhere and
I go watch the heats they're in, and that's it. I don't watch nothing else.
But hell, I haven't been out there in a minute. And I used to go every year.
It was a cool show at first.
Yeah,
it's just not no more. Yeah.
Hey, it's cool to go watch, but the behind scenes, like the whole, well, if your cars are legit like this, then go get them. We'll retech them, and we'll give y'all a cut list. Okay, well, we'll go do it. Well, you all have 20 minutes to cut 4 cars and be back.
Yeah, that ain't possible.
We did it.
Yeah, we had a lot of good help. I mean,
We did it.
We had guys jump in, and
We had grinders, sawzalls, torches,
we got
plasma. I mean, anything. There's probably, I'd say 30 people cutting on cars. Like, they're everywhere. We just taped a list to the hoods of the cars, and people started cutting.
As soon as somebody was done, somebody checked it off and just keep on going down the list.
I mean, some cuts on some cars looked a little rougher than others because, woo. Some people did not run a torch.
And when we were out there, it was colder and shit too.
Got 14 seconds. Hurry the fuck up.
Yeah.
Because I promise you, they will close the fucking doors
Yeah.
on that barn.
They will. They will close them out there. They stand on
I heard somebody drove through one of their doors. I ain't saying no names or nothing, but I heard it happen. I mean, I don't know if it's true. I ain't fact checked it, but I heard that they had to replace the door.
Yeah, we'll leave said name unmentioned. Okay. So, both of y'all are in here. Why in the hell did you guys decide that you guys wanted to start teching and officialing derbies?
Stupid.
Let's say, well, that's number one thing. But two is just we kind of seen it going in the wrong direction. Things were getting a little carried away. I'm not going to nitpick anybody's cars by any means or any promoter by any means, but I just when you can take a car, fresh car, and build it to the said rules and go out and we'll just walk by their car and you're going, how the hell did that get in?
Well, you and I had talked. I can't even remember what show we were at, and you were like, how are these guys letting the shit in? Mm-hmm. And then I start seeing talk.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then I see mid-row promotions pop up. So I kind of figured, if you're sitting there witnessing all this bullshit going through and you think in your mind that, hey, I can even this playing field. And you guys can't do it by yourselves. You've got a really good team around you that know, both you guys sitting here, you guys run little cars and you've run big cars. You've run the hobo side. You've run the hot stock, street stock side as well.
Or hot stock versus mod. I mean, you've done that.
You mean hot mods?
Yeah. They're late mods. They got a lot of late hours in them.
I say we both come from derby families. Been doing it 20 years plus. I mean, you run that long, and I run trucks and cars. I mean everything. You come to a point where you're like, I just want it to be fair across the board for everybody. And we, all these shows we run, like we're saying, I mean, we've just seen the way everything is changing. Everybody's getting away with more and more and more and more, and we just figured we'd step in and see if we can help the derby world out and give everybody a fair shake and a fair chance. And I feel like it's working. I mean, we're pulling a lot of cars. Everybody, I get messages and calls that says, we're glad you guys are doing it. It's fair. I mean, everybody loves it, so we're going to stick to it. I mean, that's our number one. When me and Tyler talked about it, say if we're going to do this, it's going to be fair across the board, no matter our friends. I mean, ask Matt Chandler. He thinks I'm a dickhead because I'll help him build a car and make him cut it. I mean,
for instance, Matt Chandler and Danny spent probably 10 hours of building a ramp bumper. Mm-hmm. Shows up, first thing he did, Matt, that bumper's got to come off. Mm-hmm. He said, "Are you kidding me?" Gone. But and another thing, how y'all said that one head tech, honestly, the way me and Danny operate, like with two, it actually works pretty good because we both see. Danny sees some things that I don't see, as in interprets it one way than I do.
But you guys will actually huddle the fuck up and you will talk about it. It's not like just load it. We're not even doing it.
Or like say Steven calls, hey, can I do this?
Give me a minute.
Hold on one second. Or I call Danny or Danny calls me and we're like,
we'll make sure we agree upon it.
Yeah, there's no you show up to a show, well, you said I could do it, but my head tech says it didn't.
Right.
You don't just.
Yeah, you're not catching us. I mean, it's.
They try to do that shit.
Oh, yeah.
All the time. I'd done it all the time.
Yeah.
I would text you and I'd text, somebody else, and they're like, well, he said I could, but you said I couldn't. Well, I'm going to do whatever I want.
Matter of fact, I'd done it one time at a team show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, about window bars.
No, we didn't have a fucking tech.
Right. we done cut ours out.
Yeah.
We refabbed them and got there. We're like, what a dickhead.
Yeah, we didn't have a fucking tech.
That must have been Palmyra?
Yeah. Yeah, I was mad. Me and Stephen Barry go out and shit. He's like, "Fucking load it." I'm like, "Okay." I mean, it was just a bad old
unload
deal.
it.
Yeah,
Load it. I don't give a fuck what you want to do. I wanted to cancel this fucking class.
Best thing was you and James Smith though. I was ready for you to just lay him out.
I was just sick of that.
I was like,
dude.
yeah, bitching the whole time.
Yeah, I was like, all I did is I sent because I had a bar welded from my pillar to my window bar, and I sent a picture. And I said, "Is this okay?" He said, "Yeah, that's fine, but your other part's not." I'm like, "What? It says to the firewall." He said, "That's not the firewall." I said, "You need to trace the firewall." And then
Yeah, small
so I
farms.
asked the promoter. He said, "FaceTime me. I'll come by your shop." I said, "Oh no, you can't come by the shop right now." I said, "But you can FaceTime me."
I'll show you what I want you to see.
So he FaceTimed me. He said, "Oh yeah, it's fine." So I called Danny. I said, "We're still good to go. We ain't got to reshape our window bars, and we're good to go." We show up, and they said, "Cut an inch out." What the? Which I mean, in the end, it all worked out. We still,
Still got the check.
yeah,
And the
we
big
drew-
old trophies.
Yeah, we drew a bad heat, but
Yeah.
with some good friends. But
Yeah.
it's a chance you take.
Well, that's something that we've talked about. A lot of these guys are wanting to run on the national level because they are tired of beating the fucking brakes off their homies.
Yeah.
I had more fun last night than.
And you guys had friends on the track last
We
night.
all
Everybody.
friends.
There wasn't nobody there I didn't
And
know.
that's what I'm
Grew up
saying. When
with
we
all
got out
them.
of the cars, there was not one person mad. Everybody's smiling, laughing, shaking hands.
Yeah. It was a good time.
Well, whenever you start going to a derby, it starts feeling like work. So that's when I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah. Get tired of the drama.
Steven, you didn't get a stick the first time. Fuck it. I'm loading it. I'm
I didn't
done.
bring a fucking torch.
I didn't bring a torch. I didn't bring a saw. I didn't bring nothing.
You'd have loaded with us last night, man, 'cause we didn't bring a torch, we didn't bring a grinder, we didn't bring nothing. We had to go get a torch.
Yeah. Good thing I got a shop in Pleasant Hill. Just went and picked everything up.
So, first show on the docket for this year is Madison, which will be this Saturday. Have you guys been getting a lot of calls? Because we've talked. So many people are so secretive of where the fuck they're going to go.
Yeah,
You never know who's going to show up.
got a lot of calls, a lot of texts. So we shall see.
Because one thing that we really support is you guys run youth classes.
100%.
Love that.
That's
shit.
all we
Youth-
all we
it's
care
just what
about. I
we're
mean,
about.
yes, that's our number one. You know, just want the kid. I mean, if the kids don't get into it, we're not gonna have derby no more. I mean, we're all getting older and stuff, and starting to hurt a little bit more every day. So, gotta get kids into it. And we try to do a lot for the sponsors and just get them hooked to it. And
everybody's kind of taking that that step. I mean, they really are. You're starting to see it trickle down a lot more.
yes,
Whether that be peer pressure, what. I'm serious.
Yeah. Yeah.
I seen Wicked posted something. Said, "Oh, hey kids,
Yeah.
we heard you.
Yep.
Like we're bringing our youth class back.
it's awesome.
As you should."
Yeah,
Because you guys have, I'm going to say this, since you guys have kind of started doing what you're doing, you guys have got a lot of the sponsor stuff for the youth. Hey, you had an old boy do a motor last year.
yeah, motor,
Griffin
transmissions.
Schoonover came over, full Senate,
Yeah.
didn't care about winning. He
Yeah.
needed a motor.
Yeah. Eddie, he donated transmission. I mean,
Yeah,
we just had our trucks plumb full of par tire. I mean,
Tires,
there was
rims.
just so many people giving to it. It was it's pretty cool.
Another thing that a lot of people say me and Danny did the promoting for the money side.
I wish. No, I'm a millionaire now. Yeah.
Wow.
So we I'll be honest with you. After we get paid, we pay the guys. Me and Danny's averaged it. We normally spend $400 or $500 more out of our own pocket on top of the money that we got paid, donating back, because we donate to every. There's not one class that doesn't have a Mad Dog.
No, we always make sure
And
everybody gets it.
if front wheel drive Hobo has a $500 Mad Dog, we make sure Mod Compacts have a $500. Even they're running for their own money, but we try to be.
Yeah, fair across the board. I mean,
Which we're all human. Y'all miss stuff in the tech home.
That's still
Money.
still laughing about the money.
There's no money in the tech
if there
trade.
was money made, everybody would be doing it.
100%.
Bo knows.
My thing is, I want to know where I can turn in my hours to the fair boards for all these phone calls.
Let's say the money.
1, 2 o'clock in the morning stuff.
Yeah, the
Bingo.
money's not worth the time away from the family.
And the headaches.
The headaches, the scheduling, just it's not worth it. I'll go work at McDonald's.
Flip burgers, $15 an hour, clock in, clock out, go
100%.
home.
Walmart
Get a
be
free
easy,
meal.
won't get as hot.
Walmart greeter. Oh, yeah.
Get your shit and get out.
May I help you?
I would gladly, if anybody wanted to say that somebody was doing that for the money, our books,
Right.
Filthy Promotions, is sitting right over there.
Right.
I'll post that shit. Here's Steven. Here's a fucking half-eaten hot dog and a case of beer.
Yeah, once in a great while you're lucky, they might bring you a cheeseburger.
Yeah, maybe,
you know,
maybe.
if they don't charge you for it.
So, being that you guys have stepped into the role that you're in, and both of you running mod compacts, does it hit you a little bit more in the feels to see, I'm not going to say a descend or a downcline, but where you're having to go and post 10, run for 100% payback?
Yeah, it's
It
horrible.
sucks.
Yeah, we hate it.
I mean,
But what it's come to,
they're not really.
Yeah.
They're mods, 100%. They're full blown mods.
we call them 5-foot cars.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they are anymore. I really wish it would go back to a 6-plate car game and make it a driver's game again.
Yeah.
Not bumper cars.
Right.
So what you would say would be like a light weld, kind of the Mike Brown rules, where you get
That's what we started at.
That was a mod then.
Yeah.
You know?
it was a mod.
And it was.
It's like everything else. I mean, cycles.
It's got a cycle.
Yeah,
Like-
you know, hopefully, and I don't want to kill them, but hopefully here a couple of years they kind of weed out. You know, maybe the hobo class will come back up at 6-plate. We'll have mods again. Then throw back a gut and go compact or something. But it's just everybody runs bash and all these shows, and they're like, well, I got this car, I want to run it, but it's got 10 plates. And you don't want to not let them run it. But it's just everybody's give in to the bash rules and all this crap, and it's horrible.
I mean, because we've talked about it, a mod compact. I mean, you're talking pretty goddamn close to the same money as you would a full blown mod car, big car.
100%. Yeah. Oh yeah. We had $8-9 grand in a compact car. Mm-hmm. I mean, it just
especially when you go get built motors.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But then again, I mean, you gotta look at it at a crowd standpoint too. They want to see stuff bend.
Right.
That's why they're there, not bounce off each other.
That's why I never cared about the mod big cars, because they hit and sparks fly, and it's like, what did they really do? They ran out of gas. Hopefully
Oh,
you get
look,
stuck.
none of them can steer.
Right. Yeah.
Plowing
That's
is
what,
fun.
I hate wedge cars. I hate looking at them. Bend a bumper. Nose them up. Don't just take their front tire off. That drives me nuts.
Or you get the mod cars that sit way up in there and they run into concrete blocks because they can't see nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Seen the video of that before.
Hey, he forgot his booster seat.
Yeah. Yeah. He caught a lot of hell about that.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
There was so many Snapchats.
Yeah.
that I
That's what I seen too.
Oh, that shit popped up on my memory.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cody.
I'm not sorry at all. That shit was
It
funny.
was a good time.
And if I would have done it, you motherfuckers would be like,
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Oh, yeah, that was probably one of the highlights of that show.
yeah.
Oh God. Okay. DerbyNation.tv is your one-stop shop for your Demolition Derby pay-per-view needs. With a schedule like no other, you can catch all the shows you want to watch at the touch of a button from the comfort of your living room without leaving your house. But pay-per-view derbies aren't the only thing that they can get you. You can also carry a monthly subscription to watch the ever-growing Derby Builds, where you get all the behind-the-scenes action on different build processes with the Derby Builds team, including team show cars and even some national level youth builds.
And if you can't make it to that big show in person, go ahead, host that shop watch party, and let DerbyNation.tv bring excitement of Demolition Derby action straight to your shop live on your TV. Since Justin has been on board with us at Hard Nose, we have figured out how much Broadhead Decals means to the sport of Demolition Derby. His great quality parts are seen from coast to coast and everywhere in between.
But he can do more than just Derby products. Your everyday business may need some pep in its step with new banners or stickers. And just give him an idea and let him run with it. Whether it's business related or just want to look badass in the winner circle, let Broadhead Decals work for you.
We do.
Back to the youth. You guys run 2 youth classes at Madison.
Right.
You run a hobo compact.
Yeah, front wheel drive hobo, youth class, and then we got the full size hobo youth class.
Why is the purpose? What's your guys' mindset for having 2?
We was kind of throwing out the idea. We did, a lot of it is what can the parents afford. We got a big following of big car people, so we always wanted that class, and then we get some kids in the big cars that are a little bit more experienced. So we're like, all right, we'll have a front wheel drive and drop the age down a few years. Let the little generation or little kids start out in them, and then maybe they work themselves up to the the big cars. And it's just.
So you're kind of using the hobo compacts as a stepping
a beginner
stone,
class, right?
So you're not throwing Griff Schoonover in there, Carly McAllister in there, Tucker
Right.
Baker in there, where they can kind of go out and have a good time, learn some shit,
Yeah,
and then,
right.
hey, if I want to, I can step up.
Which like
Once
last
you step up, you're done.
Yeah, like last year, my boys probably was the youngest kid out there.
Mm-hmm.
Put him in there, which he didn't. He never drove a car, never, too big of a motor, stuff like that. So to give him I should have put him in a front wheel drive first. Let him get some driving time and stuff like that, and then go to the big cars. So that's why we got 2 classes. Just the parents can pick what they feel is comfortable for their kids, and sometimes it's easier to find a front wheel drive car than it is a big car, or parts or money and.
Or like me, I grew up. My entire family's big car guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the only compact guy.
Yeah.
If they'd had a youth compact back in the day, I wouldn't have had a fighting chance because I didn't. Everything I learned on my own. My dad, none of them know anything about a compact, and he'll still tell you if I want to build a compact car, I'm gonna have my boy do it because I can't tell you first thing about it. Just easier on the. And some shows are kind of pushing back on them. Too many classes, which I agree.
Yeah.
We are getting crazy on class counts. So, like, we're going to run a youth at one, or a front-wheel drive youth at one, and a full-size at another one, and kind of break it up.
Make it easier on people.
So you guys just kind of said that a little bit. Last year there was a debate. You guys had an age limit set, but I'm just gonna have to actually say it. So you had a kid or two that ran the youth class, then went to
The regular class, the adult
with
class.
the adults, and then the next show he came back for the youth. So what did you guys have to come up with to say, I know the rule set fits you because of your age,
Right.
but did you guys just have to say, hey, once you run with the big boys, you're staying with the big boys?
That's what we decided. Like,
Then we told him at the next show because
Yeah.
he wanted to bump up. One of them wanted to bump up again, and we said, if you bump again,
that's where
you're
you're
done.
at.
This is it. Like, you're not running youth here no more. And it don't matter if he's youth this year and youth next year. If he bumps this year, he won't run youth next year.
Right.
Because we've seen it, not just with you either.
Right.
I mean, when you see a kid going to Spring X,
It's time to be out of the youth class.
correct.
Yeah.
I don't give a
Like-
shit if you're 14 or 15.
Whenever, I'll use them as a example. Mason Larson and Trey Hewer.
Yeah.
I mean, watching them dog walk people
Right.
at Blizzard Bash.
Right.
And then I'm like, easy. It's time for you not to be
Yeah.
in there anymore.
Or, yeah, I was going to say, Trey come to, I think he won Carnage or something that year and then ran Macon here. as a youth. My little brother was in there. He said, "What do you do?" I said, "Stay close."
Yeah.
Glued to the hip, boys.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. I think so many people with competitive drive and competitive juices, I mean, we've said it. 15, 16-year-old has got way more adrenaline, way more testosterone than that 11-year-old
Right.
that he's getting ready to wipe the fucking core support off of.
Yeah.
So
Well, you don't want somebody going out there and scare the shit out of one of
No,
those kids.
not at all.
that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
I don't know, because that 11-year-old boy I seen up there in Madison with too big of a motor, I think he was getting ready to wipe somebody's course.
If he'd have come off the wall, somebody's getting hurt. I promise. There was no holding him back.
I watched somebody come sliding out of the seat trying to get to reverse because he thought he was going to the crowd.
Yeah.
What you guys are wanting to do for the sport, sometimes the parents or uncles or dads or whoever's helping them build this shit, the competitive juices are flowing. So they're like, well, I want to cash a check. When you're you're 95% sure that, hey, I'm going to get the money in here in the youth class, but I don't know if I can do it with the
Right.
adults.
Right.
So that's why they kind of keep coming back. I mean, $1,500 is better than no bucks.
Right. 100%.
So I think when you're throwing the money game into the equation, that changes everything. It'd be real funny. You guys go out in the backyard, get on the backfield, and have your buddies come over and do a little
Right.
circle track, bump and run type of shit
We've always talked about
for
it.
$50.
Right.
To me,
You don't care, but you will junkie you
Right.
over 3,000.
Oh, 100%.
oh, buddy, we're gonna meet in the middle.
Yeah.
And he knows it.
Yeah, that's one thing we've always talked about. I don't care. If me and Tyler's running at the end, it's on. We're not breaking off. We're not holding back.
Yeah.
We're both so competitive that, you got to beat my wheels off to get me to stop.
Danny's first win was Higbee, Missouri. I went and bought a car because Danny was gonna go run, and that's why I'm going with you one way or another. And I went and bought a car, and we went over there, and well, needless to say, this guy used a golf pedal throttle cable. And oh boy, we got done with one guy on the wall, and he was a little mad, and come down to me and him. We backed up and was meeting him in the middle, and my throttle cable broke, and red flag, and old Artie Clark come out there and said, "I'm gonna break you off," and I'm like, "For what?" And he said, "Beating that guy on the wall." I said, "Ain't this a derby?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "What place am I at?" Second. I said, "Well, good, you ain't got to break me off. I'm out. I ain't got a fucking throttle cable anyways."
Yeah. I come out of the car mad. I was like, "Did you break your stick? Just let me win." He's like, "No." He said, "Mine's broke." I said, "We're battling it out. I don't give me nothing. If I don't earn it, I don't want it."
I mean, if they'd give me a little more time, I'd tie the ratchet strap to it and we'd have kept going, I promise you.
100%.
That's where Ronnie Pickens gets it.
Yeah.
As he's on the wall, he's trying to get his ratchet strap because his throttle cable broke. He's trying to get his ratchet strap off the fuel cell to hook that bitch to for hand throttle.
I've done it. Done it. Many a times. That's why we went to the EFI life.
I never make it down that far.
Second show. You guys were going to have Vandalia the next week. They decided there was too many shows that week, so they're going to reiterate back to about the middle of August. Then you guys have Shelbina.
Right.
Yep.
Isn't that a badass fair board to work with? Yeah. They're fucking awesome. Yep. They really are.
Yep.
They were the only reason that I didn't want to stop promoting.
Right.
Because you could call them and be like, "Hey, we want to do this."
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, how much money do you need?
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, when we first started talking about it, they was going to put a lot of money in it. I'm like, let's not. Let's try a couple of shows, see what happens. Don't go crazy, but they've been really, really, really well. It's and anything we want, we pretty much got. And good facility. It's just
that is the only place.
Their little gunshot and car counts is
but they
what
they had last year.
Like me and Danny told them though, the first show might not be a doozy. It might be the second. Like Madison, we held 50-something cars the first show. Then the numbers started going up. But people are seeing the consistency.
Well, we gave them an unrealistic expectation for car count.
Right.
Because of what we were capitalizing off of. What was going around. We took the show from 35 cars
Right.
to 98 in a year.
Yeah.
But I was playing off of COVID.
Right.
Nobody else was having shows.
Right.
And I was just like, yeah, fuck it, I'll pay the fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
And then everybody else sucked at the time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I
The only other decent car count you had that year was Vandalia and J&B, but
mean, yeah.
Jesus Christ, you didn't know if you was running against
Well, it was the same thing. I mean, COVID. I mean,
Yeah, it's COVID.
COVID-
Nobody else would have
COVID
a show.
numbers.
like over in Illinois, nobody had nowhere really to run. So
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh hell, we'll go over there. It's somewhere to get out. Out and about. We ain't gotta be in our house."
Which
So,
don't get me wrong, it was nice. Like
Yeah, it was a
being
good
able
show.
to run. Like, and honestly, that year of COVID, I hate to say it, but that was probably the best track I've ever run on in my life that
was
night.
fun.
Like, I don't know how they done it, but it was like just driving on a sheet of glass. Like,
Yeah.
it was
Because we've said Showbina has got the reputation that it's packed every year.
yes. They got an awesome venue.
Shelby County Fair, that's one thing, but there's people that never go to a derby all year long, except for that one.
Yeah, wait for that one.
And they bring lawn chairs the day before, blankets and shit the day before. And I've seen literally 9 cars at the show. 9. Last year R&R had it. There was 9 cars. Beer garden absolutely packed, band going.
Show over in 20 minutes.
Yeah, you couldn't drag it out long enough.
Right.
There wasn't no way. So, if you guys just have an average car count of 50 cars,
Right.
then they know they're going to have a show.
Yeah.
Another thing that hurts everything is like anybody that thinks they can put on a show will try to do it. I mean, it is. It fucking hurts people that are doing. I mean,
Yeah.
you got pop-up shows in every fucking shithole track. 3 minutes from where you're having a show, and
Right.
they want to stack it on your fucking weekend and everything else. It's a pain in the dick.
It
Like,
is.
100%.
nobody wants to communicate. Like, and if you do reach out to somebody, they're like, "Oh, well, they told us their dates. Yeah, we're gonna fuck them."
Yeah, that's kind of what we had with Vandalia. Like, we talk to different people. They're like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then we tell them our dates. And then next thing you know, there's a show the same day. I'm like, why would you do? I mean, there's no reason to do stuff like
It is
that.
because they're douchebags.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it is because it hurts the dirty
hurts the
world
sport.
as a
Right.
fucking whole.
Right.
The bad thing is if we could get together, and it'll never happen.
No.
If you could
It's a
get
dream.
together and keep the shows split apart and keep the rules close.
But
Not exact. Not exact.
But
I
problem
even
is-
tried going with the same fucking rules as
Right.
somebody else, and
That's
then
the-
they're like, "Man, fuck it, I'm gonna change my rules."
done it-
I'm like,
that's-
"You're a
we
fucking
We
idiot."
done
That's-
the same thing. We adopted rules, and
Yep.
next year they changed. I'm like, why would? And you had a good set of rules. Why would you change them? I mean, we can go. Illinois and Missouri can both, within 50 miles, and
Well, and that was one thing that Jerry was working toward hard whenever he was helping
Yeah.
me, is trying to get
Right.
like Austin shit and
Right.
ours kind of blended together. and it
that's
was
what we.
working.
That's
That's
what
where
we
our
done.
rules come from.
Yeah. That's what we done.
But the hard part is you would almost have to have every show around because
Nobody texts the same anyway.
No, you-
exactly.
Like I talked to Brian Shoemaker yesterday, and we've been talking about it for a while. You'd have to have some kind of committee to make it work. Illinois, some big committee, and then pretty much almost hire techs, off the same platform. Because if not, they come to our show, cut whatever, go next show. Yeah,
Well,
you can have
this.
that. Well, then they come. It would never work unless you have some kind of board or committee.
Well, that's
or-
what we were talking about Gold Rush. You run on all these qualifiers, but nobody.
fucking rules are the same.
Yeah, now none of the rules are the same. But even if they were, you're going to tech different than Steven's going to tech,
Right.
and Steven's going to tech different than Tyler's going to tech.
100%.
Even though you're looking at those same said
Right.
rules.
See, I threw out some messages, because I heard about like this national youth thing. So I was trying to figure out how to maybe get some of our kids involved in it. But then I think about it, you go from a hobo build to whatever it is, like pretty much a light welder. I'm like, do you really want to throw our kids into that situation?
Because him and I talked about sending somebody from
Yeah.
your old show
Right.
to Youth Nationals. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
but if it could run them.
Your Border Wars car is a lighter build
Right.
than that build.
yeah.
Right. Yeah. And see, I mean,
And you're talking to kids.
And I wouldn't put my 30.
No,
No.
like you guys said, like Griffin, he's a good candidate for that
Right.
because he runs a little bit bigger car builds, but Yeah, like our little 10, 11-year-olds. I don't know if I want to put them into that. Now my boy, maybe.
His family. I won't feel so bad if he gets his
Right,
ass kicked.
no.
Well, and even like PJ's boy, like
Yeah.
like he's watched his dad. He's
Oh,
been in it,
100%.
I mean,
Yeah, comes from a good family.
Yeah.
I mean, and really good builders and stuff. I mean, he's got a better chance than just a little average kid. That, old 350 out of a old pickup truck or combine or something. And
Well, what sucks is that Caitlin Wilson, all the way from California, it's 44 hours, and they're going through tech the first year, and her uncle Cameron, the techs are actually saying, "Go back, do this, this, and this," and he was like, "But I'm built to the rules." He was like, "You need to read in."
Right.
He said, "You need to read into the rules," and he was like, "Oh shit, what are we getting ourselves into?"
and you go that far. I mean, that's a lot of packing. I mean, nobody thinks about. Hell, we got to bring some 2x2 or extra metal, and you're scrambling. And hey, can I borrow? And
how many blown tires? Is
Right.
there? Fuck that.
We've always said that, if you're going to go that far, one, you don't want to take the chance of being loaded.
No.
Over legit
Right.
getting loaded.
Right.
But you don't want to be underbuilt. Like this motherfucker says, "Oh, we're going to go to Bristol and I'm not going to get it." I guarantee you, his exact words to me, I guarantee
You
you,
looked at the car.
I'm not going to get a stick the first time.
Right.
He sends me a text. He said stick. And I went, uh-oh.
You and me both know, fucker.
It's like me. I always like building a car. When I get there, I don't want to cut nothing. I'm lazy. I don't want to even bring a torch or nothing. But you have to. I mean, you have to do extra stuff because if you don't, you're dead. I mean, it's horrible.
He looked at the car. He was like, "There's no fucking way."
Yeah, you're good. And I was like, oh my. And then he's telling me what's down there, and I'm like, oh, that's them people that read way into the rules a little bit. Stock drive shaft.
It was a stock drive shaft.
It was a stock drive shaft.
Out of an Explorer.
Right.
They have a slide in them.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm looking at all this shit. I'm like, fuck me. Like,
And see,
it says, like, I was, it wasn't, you couldn't even swap the motor. I'm like, well, okay, we're good.
and see like that. I mean, that drive shaft shouldn't run because it's not a car drive shaft.
Exactly.
I mean, that's where the techs. I mean, you start getting truck A arms and springs and shocks and all that shit. That should not run. A truck part can't run in a car. I mean,
100%.
Explorer struts.
right.
Yeah, I mean, it was, I was looking at these cars and I was like, this ain't good.
I'm going out and making one hit and drinking beer.
Yeah.
No, he didn't need to drink no more beer because he was
Yeah.
hungover.
That's what I used to get when I was younger. I'd get so drunk I couldn't even drive a car. My helmet would be flying off the back. Just,
They had to put me in my car. It's all
yeah, that's why I don't drink no more.
I don't think that's the reason why you don't drink no more.
it's not.
You tend to have done some dumb shit drinking.
A lot of court dates and some bar. I've seen some bars in my day, and now I got kids. I got to be a little bit more responsible and save a little money.
So what's the most anticipated show that you're ready for this year?
All of them.
All of them?
Yeah, we don't really have a favorite. Like we just want them all to be good. I mean, just would like to see every venue packed. I mean, that's the goal. Like to get the phone calls from the, Madison, Van Day, Shelbonnet, be like, man, that was awesome. Just try to just keep them going.
So how did you guys figure out who to put around you?
Friends.
Yeah, just people that derby with us. I mean, just they pretty much know what we know. I mean, just
Creative mind.
yeah, and kind of like me and Tyler. I mean, like Tanner and Chop and all of them, we're all on the same page. We don't argue. It's hey, what do you think about this? And then we'll give each other our idea and then come up to an agreement and just gotta have a good circle. I mean,
Because we're going to go ahead and hit this. I mean, we talked about it last year that, everybody was freaking the fuck out because, Madison's starting at hour and a half late.
Right.
The people in the stands, they don't realize
No.
that there's a level of competition back there.
Oh, fuck. I don't even want to get into that shit.
And they're pushing every possible thing that they can push. So if you're going to be thorough and fair,
100%.
there's no way that you're going to be able to start on time unless A, one retech,
Yeah.
or this is when this line is shutting the fuck down.
Yeah.
We're not taking any cars after that.
Right.
And by
And there's a certain point you can't do that.
Right.
yeah, and then by 5 o'clock, you better be in line for retech.
It was supposed to be that last year in the cars at the cleanup show. Which, granted, cleanup show went from 20 cars to 90 in an hour.
Yeah.
Like they
roll
piled
around.
in.
If they're in a line, what do you do? And
You do exactly what the fuck you did.
yeah, I mean, we want to give the best show to the crowd. I mean, you're spending your $10, $20, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Do you want to see one car or 100?
I'm gonna say 100.
Yeah, I mean, and everybody was griping, but I got messages on Messenger that's like, we didn't know what it was going to be like, but thank you. Like, that was, one of the best shows around,
I was pulling motherfuckers out of the crowd to help me to help me official
Yeah.
at Halloween Havoc because I was still teching fucking cars while we started the show.
Yeah.
Like we were 2 hours behind. I was still teching cars,
Right.
and we were running cars across the fucking track.
He looks at me, gets me on the radio. He's like, we're starting this bitch. I was like, I have no officials. Give me a minute.
Yeah.
And he was like, you all run that shit. I'm going to finish back here. Get it started. And I was like,
And
okay.
And we even talked about, like, when you come in the pit now, we're going to have them write a time. Whatever time you show up, write it on their paper. That determines, what we're going to allow you to do. Because if you show up at noon
And don't
and
run
you wait till 4 o'clock to come through tech, that's on you. Like, you had plenty of time.
You can ask him how many times I've been back there at the back. Either get the motherfucker out of
Yeah.
the trailer or leave it on.
Yeah, that's the way we are now. I mean, we
I
just
said,
gotta-
we're all here and ready. I said, you're
Yeah.
fucking here. Run that bitch through
Yeah.
tech. Like,
No, we're gonna clean stuff up this year. I mean, our time, even like Madison, I got a phone call at a certain time. If you're not in, they're shutting the gates. They got more people at the gates. They're gonna shut the gates, and you're
There's
out.
there's not. You guys probably haven't been there yet this year. There's actual gate.
Yeah, that's what they said. They put up a gate. They're gonna shut
So
it.
the gate is actually, I mean, for anybody listening, the gate will be shut.
100%.
The vice president gets there. He will unlock the gate. You guys will pull in.
Yeah,
The gate gets locked again.
yeah,
When you say, "Hey, we're ready for cars. We're set up. We're ready to go," they will go back, unlock that gate, and let the drivers come in.
And that's another thing. We had a lot of
early birds.
early birds that were, getting there before you couldn't even keep them out, because they were already in.
Yeah. Lost a lot of money. I mean, just they're in. I mean, what do you do? I mean,
You gonna have one guy go through? Hey, did you pay?
Right.
Well, they'll be
Yeah,
like,
I
"Yeah,
did."
sure." Well, where's your wristband at? I can't find it.
Yeah.
I dropped it. I lost
Yeah, you
it.
can't call them a liar. I mean, it's kind of is what it is.
Yep.
Man, okay. Now, what is both you guys being that you're drivers too? Is there a show that you're looking forward to that maybe this year that you're wanting to really hit and go to?
It was.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we was excited, but not so much now. I mean,
Bowling Green.
we signed up for Bowling Green.
We was gonna. Honestly, me and Danny talked about hanging it up after this year to running side. We was gonna run his hometown, which is Pleasant Hill, Illinois, and then we was gonna run Bowling Green, which is Bowling Green, Van Days, kind of my hometown.
That's
in between
you're right
the
in the
two.
middle.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and plus we want to kind of try to redeem ourselves from last year. Fifth and blowed up some motors and.
Yeah.
Y'all wasn't the only ones that blowed up
Oh,
motors.
that track claimed a lot of motors last year.
it wasn't bad Friday.
No.
Bad
This
Saturday.
motherfucker keeps saying that. I was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, you stay driving,
Right.
sweat your balls
I
off."
went Friday.
Yeah. But just like that show there, last year we drew some friends again. And
Right.
now that friend said he'll never run a team show again because of it. And I'm like, it's the chance you take.
Yeah.
If you're going to run a team show and you're especially running one local,
Yeah.
you're going to draw a friend. It's going to happen.
Well, and honestly, I mean, on that side of things, it's really no different than running heats.
No.
Like at a local show.
Right.
yeah.
Because whenever I ran at Salisbury, 5 years ago, whatever, it was me and Teddy and
You run stacked heat.
yeah, I mean, it was all of us in the same fucking heat. We're like, well, somebody's not coming out this
Right. Yeah. Only one winner. I mean,
100%.
Well, that's something that we talked before. You guys actually ran Pleasant Hill last night in the big car class. You guys knew that we were going live. There were some comments on there. One that they didn't realize there was what, 2 inches of rain
Yeah, at least.
from 4 o'clock to 6:30.
Yeah, the parking lot was water.
But at 3:30, it was dry as a bone, and then it all hit at once. So there's comments on there. That's I guess the one bad part about going live is because there's a lot of keyboard warriors too. The extent of they're bagging, they're doing this, they're doing that. Well, first of all, it's still muddy.
Right.
100%.
You can watch wheels spinning and not really going nowhere. Yeah,
I don't feel like that even justified talking about. Because, I mean, if they're too stupid to realize that
Right. That's
dirt
what-
gets slick
Yeah.
when it's wet,
These
I don't know
are
how they turn on their fucking computer.
these are
My
the
thing, yeah, like, go ahead.
these are the people that go out in the wintertime when it freezes and stuff and crash into ditches.
Right.
Because they don't know that water turns into ice, so you can't worry about it.
They're
Just
the people
brush
that
it
are on
off.
there like, hey, how are the roads?
Yeah, every 5 seconds.
Yeah, your fucking power line's touching the ground.
Yeah, there's
And they're
25
fucking
semis, flipped over in a ditch,
Stupid.
but they're good. Go ahead,
Yeah.
take yourself out.
Well, somebody commented, run heats.
Yeah.
Go back to the old school ways.
12 cars.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Well, that's what somebody said. Somebody said run heats to make you earn your spot in the feature.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens whenever the console rolls around, 2 cars show up?
Yeah, I was
Correct.
saying, but go watch the video on my car, and 3 hits, my front bumper's almost touching my roof because it was a pre-ran car that we just pulled down.
Or you're running heats and you're bagging because you know that you're gonna have to take
I
care of
think
your
it'd
car
make it
and
worse.
fix
You
it.
will not get the show
No,
with
not at all.
heats. I've tried telling these
want
people.
it done so much better.
We had Fairboard after Fairboard being like, hey, I think you need to run heats. And I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, I think you're stupid. Like, these fucking drivers don't want to drag the shop with them, first of all.
No.
I don't want to retech these fucking
Right.
cars. And and it gives me, as a human, more time to fuck up if I've got to official these cars 3 fucking times.
Yeah.
Because you're going to make a bad call in there somewhere.
Right.
I had a hell of a lot better chance at not fucking up
Yeah. Make one bad call.
if there was
Right.
4 features.
Right.
We'd walk, do that. Well, I might fuck up in the gut and go, which was, or the big car.
Right.
Take a little bit of human error out of it.
Yeah, because you're gonna have human error. I mean, we all make mistakes, no matter what.
Unless you want to set 94 people
Right.
around the fucking dirt, and 4 people are on this car, 4 people are on this car, 4 people are on this car, you better have some fucking high-speed cameras.
Right.
Yep.
If not, everybody that's banging on that keyboard can fuck off. I mean, it's that simple.
Right.
And I'm sure you all get to hear it now that you all are pieces of shit. And you know
yeah.
what you're doing.
Hey, I'm probably the biggest dickhead in the fucking state.
Well, now maybe.
Yeah, they say I'm
I
easy.
held that title for 3
Yeah,
fucking
they say I'm
years.
easygoing. They say Tyler's a little bit harder to get along with. But
They say it both ways sometimes.
Yeah.
But
Well,
Good
I-
cop,
like I
that
said-
good cop, bad cop
Yeah.
type shit.
Yeah.
Until we started putting on shows, I had never realized how big of a cocksucker I was.
Yeah.
No gag reflex over there.
Motherfucker. That's why I quit. It pisses me off talking about
Right.
it. It fucking
Other
drives
thing
me
is
nuts.
like you get your friends that come and they get favoritism. The bad thing is
Bullshit.
behind closed scenes, go look at their cars and look at the others.
Guaranteed.
Our friends cut their cars way
You know how
more.
many times me and the Hewers argued?
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I've told all my buddies, I was like, don't put me in that position.
100%.
I was like, you will end a friendship because you're not getting nothing that somebody else does not get.
Rob and them were so fucking mad at
Yeah.
Salisbury whenever Jerry was making them cut. They're like, what the fuck? I'm like,
Okay.
sorry.
That's the way it is.
Well,
gotta
what
be
gets
what it
me
is.
is this, your buddy ought to know what he is and what he's not going to be able to get away with.
Right.
So don't make me end a friendship, but don't be a dumbass
Right.
I
and
don't
bring
know that
some
they didn't
super
get
cheated
I
shit.
don't know that some of my friends didn't get teched harder than some of the other.
They do.
Yep.
I guarantee ours
guarantee
do.
ours do.
Yeah. 'Cause I'm not starting that. Like if you want to call me out and be like, he's got more shit, come look at his car because I guarantee he does not.
Right.
We had that problem last year. We got there was a car. I'm not gonna say names, but it was pretty hard. But they're normally hard till they're not, and it's an 03 and newer, and
Well, I mean,
every
shit.
03 I've ever seen.
Whenever we took
history.
that Mopar of mine up there to run your old shit for Psy,
Yeah.
and we're like, cut this. I'm like, fuck, man, this thing's junk.
Yeah.
They're like, no.
Hey, I tried that last night. Austin cut this.
It was fucking junk.
Right.
It's junk.
But you know,
It didn't matter whether it was junk or not. They
Right.
still take the fucking car.
correct.
I don't
but
care if you come in with 2 wheels. I mean, if you got something that is not right, you're cutting it.
I wish I would have taken
Right.
2 wheels off that motherfucker.
Yeah.
the steering wheel being one of them.
Yeah. So I bent 5 fucking wheels on that car.
Oh yeah.
The 4 on the car and the 1 in.
But okay, speaking of that, you know, you guys run little cars, you've run big cars. To my knowledge, you've never run a Mopar.
I have.
You have?
Years ago, yeah. We used to run Newports and I had a Mopalac. It's half Mopar, half Cadillac. I mean, but back in the day, I mean, we had we put grout in our frames and asphalt, and I mean, yeah, I've been running for a long time, but yeah, I've run big car. Like I said, I run trucks, and I mean the truck when I ran it, that was the worst experience because I ran against an outlaw car, about killed me. I mean, 10,000-pound car, and I thought I was dead. But
I died.
yeah,
I learned a long time ago that they, what's his name, Scott McAdams.
Mm-hmm.
They all say that his door bars are crazy and they're full of concrete because of the momentum.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they was joking until one night I got the right idea. I was going to ride with Danny in Griggsville. And the flag dropped and we had a 3-speed and we was flying across the track. I said, "That's Scott." And he said, "Oh well, boom."
yeah.
Then we backed
Stopped
all the
us
way across the
dead.
track.
Yeah, stopped us dead. We're like, oh shit.
We backed all the way across the track and here he come, boy.
Yeah.
He lit us up and oh my goodness.
Yeah, but I'm used to, back when I ran against Mike Brown,
Yeah.
all the heavy hitters. So I never had a youth class. I had a
Yes.
kick your ass class. I mean, they would hit me and break my cage. I mean, everything was broke. They hit me one time, broke my cage, broke both axles, one shot. I mean, so I'm used to the heavy hitters. So I'll hit somebody head on and not care. I just laugh about it. I mean,
That's the other thing on youth. Like, you get a lot of adults, like, for instance, like Madison, we got some 16, 17-year-olds like Griffin and them running. Well, we could do that and leave it the way it is, where they're running against a couple like that, or do it like, all of us probably in this room has done, get thrown to the wolves and go out and run against guys been running 20, 30 years. And everybody knows how it is. Fresh blood's first one out.
Mm-hmm.
There's a chopping block. I don't care where you're at. Promise you, there's a pecking order. It's just where you rank at on that pecking order.
Yep.
And how you can drive, how far you make it up that pecking order.
And I know guys that won't go to a show because of that pecking order.
100%.
Because they know, well, fuck, I'm in the middle of this
Yeah.
pecking order, so I'm gonna do work and help
Right.
my guys take these other guys out.
Yeah.
But I know I'm fucked at the end of the night where
7th or
they're
8th.
cashing a check and
Right.
I ain't cashing shit.
She should have been in my shoes last night. That's the first time running across the river.
Yeah.
Well, second time. I run the compact years ago over there, but first time running a big car over, and I kept telling Danny, I'm like, I don't know about this, boss. I just go home. He said, "You'll be all right."
Yeah.
You be fine. You be all
And
right.
I kept telling Danny, I said, "I see what you're talking about first couple times you come over here and run with me." Like,
Oh yeah, I mean, there's still that. I'm not gonna say a border rivalry, really, being the river is the border.
Yeah.
But you'll hear a lot of Missouri guys say, "Man, I don't want to go over there. I'm the odd man out," even though you're buddies. But this, I think that goes the same way crossing the river this side.
it
Of
does.
man, I'm sure.
It's different nowadays, though. Like Facebook and social media, everybody knows everybody. I mean,
100%.
you got friends that live in California. I mean, so it's not like it used to be. Like old days, old Orange Crush and all them guys, they would come across, back and forth and just mow people. I mean, it's not like that.
They used to
anymore.
come to Shelbina.
Yeah, and
Orange
bring
Crunch.
100. I mean, the whole highway would be lined up with it, and you're like, oh shit. Yeah.
Somebody's day is going to be really
Yeah.
bad because back in the day, those dudes didn't give two
No,
shits.
not at all.
if you wasn't orange juice dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I've seen them bring 3-4 cars to Shelbina, and you had the Mayhaffies, and you had the Morgans. So just with 3 groups of guys, you had a really good show, and then you put a bunch of guys in the middle. I mean, I've seen Alan Brown come down and kind of be the middleman
Right.
by himself.
Yeah.
Well, just like whenever you used to pull into Moberly and Salisbury and shit like that, it was run what you brung. And
Yeah.
Johns's were going to be there, and all. I mean,
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. I went and run Moberly one year. I was doing pretty good. I won when Moberly started coming back at the racetrack. I won it back-to-back years. I won it one year with Hobby riding with me, and me and Andrew hit back to back, and Danny slid out and was on top of the fuel cell, and he said, "Turn this motherfucker around."
And I had a lap belt on. It slid me up out of the seat. I'm 240 pounds. How in the fuck do you slid me out of the seat? I was like, but his bumper fell. I was like, turn the fucker around. Like, I don't care. Trash the motor. I'm not taking that ride again. Yeah. I'm like, what the hell?
So then the next year, I told Danny, I said, I got to go back. I got to try to redeem it. So I got to try to win it again. Yeah. Well, I blowed up my motor the week before, and Blake messaged me and asked me to run his car. So I said, yeah, I'll take it over there. And Danny was unloading his car, and I was driving Blake's car through the tech line, and man, I'm like, I don't know what's under his hood. I know Blake.
Good builder. He's a good builder.
I pull up there and they're going, yeah, looks all right. Give him a stick. I went, what the hell did I sign up for? This is not good. And then this is the same night. I'm telling you, I've never had this happen until here. Talking about promoters. They dropped a green flag. There's 3 other cars, and I hit one car and about kill him.
Wide open.
Like
trash
full tilt. Promoter comes out screaming at me, "You hit somebody like that again, I'm going to break you off." Yeah. I said, "Are you kidding me?" Then I win the show, and this brother comes over and said, "You're about a sandbagger, I'm going to break you off." What can I do?
Yeah, can't win for losing. Yeah.
And then they fist fought each other.
Yeah.
You're tearing up my brand new fucking shirt.
Yeah.
I almost get broke off for hitting too hard. Then almost get broke off for back.
Yeah.
I did.
5 minutes apart.
He come down to me and Danny that night too. Yeah. Played her smart, and Danny said, "You knew how to beat me." I said, "I know." Had bellied it out backwards, and I ain't hit in front of it.
Because I've seen you win Madison, Danny, with like bellied.
Oh, 100%.
Plumb on the fucking ground. I was like, there's no way he's going to win this bitch. And the next thing I know, 85H has still got a stick up.
Driving sideways.
Gonna be honest with you, funnest ride of my life would have to be with Danny. We took his car to Hayvac. And I tried getting Steven here to let me run Blake's car. And Blake run the first heat. And I tried getting Steven to let me run Blake's in the second heat. Steven said, no. He said, y'all are going to wipe the track again. I'm like, come on. Well, anyway, I rode with Danny, and man, I can tell you right now, I learned what all laundry detergent's all about that night. Yeah. I coughed it up for 2 days, it seemed like, afterwards, because Danny running the radiator. Yeah. And talk about bellying it out, that driving sideways. Jake Tanier, big boy over.
Talked to me yesterday.
We was just talking about the same story. Yeah. Dude, you want to talk about annihilating the car.
He said it's the scariest he's ever been in the car. And I said it's the most fun I've ever had. He's
like 4 hits and we had the dashboard bit in a bow.
Yeah. It's fun watching your big ass bounce around in there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
It ain't too fun in the car, though.
That was a fun night.
I'm still picturing a video in my head. Danny going plumb out of the fucking seat.
Hey, you want to tell you something else funny? The cage in the car was one of Danny's old ones. And Danny's going to talk me the trick on, bolt the cage through the floorboard. They're easier to get out. So I did. 3/4 inch all thread, Well, guess what? The bolt sheared off.
Yeah. Cage coming back. I'm pushing the cage back up with my feet. Oh, I can move the whole cage. Yeah.
Same car.
Yeah.
The same bullshit like that is whenever Josh Gordon learned that you need to put the halo on the outside.
Yeah.
Instead of the inside.
Hey, my halo was on the outside on that one, though. I'll give it that.
Because the body will fold around that. It doesn't care.
That thing
hits right in the back of the fucking head.
I had my Micus motor in then, and that's what I told Danny. I don't want to hit with the front. I ain't got no bumper. He said, I don't give a shit. We can replace that motor.
I'm not fucking doing that again.
Right. It was rough.
So, being on the Tekken side, does that
make them stupid? Yes.
Yeah.
I wasn't even going to go there.
Yeah. I would agree.
But where you think you need to do little minute changes to rules.
Fuck yes, it does. Yeah. You find stuff every show.
Right.
100%.
But you don't want to be that dickhead who changes the whole fucking rule set in the middle of the summer.
Our rules are they're there for years. But the problem is, this is where we get a lot of arguing. Guys show up and, well, it doesn't say I can't, but it does.
Yeah.
Where does it say that?
The first line.
Go right down there. It says guidelines. Then right below that, it says, if it does not say you can, then you can't. Like, you are trying to, that's what we're trying to get back to basics. Get back to square one where it needs to be. If you keep going to mod cars, you're going to kill it, and there's going to be the same 5 cars every. We did this with mod compacts. It got old, like Vandalia. There was one strange car. Guess what happened to him?
There was 4 of us.
We all boom, like destroyed his car in a second. Then we're all hitting each other. Like, how's that any fun?
But no, at the end of the year, I mean, we sit down and go through the rules. I mean, we pick them back apart. Just remember what we was asked. You know, we can't do this, can do that. So we sit down every year, and I pretty much dumbify them because
You have to.
you have to explain exactly everything. I mean, might as well put like a tape measure in the rules, that way they know what an inch is and half inch. Just
We also
they don't use their peckers like most people with trying to find a half inch. But
also we come to the conclusion of, because we did load a couple cap cars and stuff last year.
They was built
If
good.
you 100% intentionally cheat your car, like pins,
this year,
and you're intentionally trying to hide it, you're done.
Yeah.
We're not even giving you an option.
No, if you got to cut pins out of your boxes or chunks of 2x whatever out of your side rails, you're not even getting the option. I mean, if you went that far to cheat your car, just to keep it on.
But
tape.
that was
miss
a
it.
factory propane car out of
Right? Yeah.
A misunderstanding of a rule
Yeah.
is the one thing, but intentionally pinning your car is another thing.
In which
HD.
we have talked to promoters about that. Some of them, they'll be like, I don't give a fuck if you want to cut your car apart to get it inside my rules after you already cap shit.
Yeah.
Go cut your car apart.
Which is a little different whenever you've got more than 2 hours.
Right.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I completely understand.
Well,
when you got a day.
Or
yeah.
you tell them to go cut a plate off or an A-arm strap for a cleanup show, and they go cut that said plate and A-arm strap off, and they come back and there's plates under them.
Right. Yeah, because there ain't no more, you're just cutting a little hole out of this shit. Like, we're tired of that. You're
Just
cutting
let
it
me-
all.
Just let me exit.
Right, no.
Yeah.
I had
That was-
messages already.
That was the most
Yeah.
famous thing I loved back in the
Yeah.
day. Like when
I'll
a
just
promoter,
we'd put plates under
they'd
plates.
like
Exit,
exit or not even put
Yeah.
that X in that plate ain't hurting it.
No.
How many times I've been to shows and the promoter's just like, well, just go like blow
Yeah,
some
blow a
slag.
hole in it, yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Blow a hole in
them are the best shows.
I've seen people
tell you.
holding other metal
Yeah.
in front of plates blowing slag
Right.
onto what they're supposed to be cutting off.
And so I've seen side rails, have pipe completely in. They're like, just blow a couple little holes. I'm like, absolutely not.
That's an HDC.
Yeah.
Is what the,
So you see a
toe
G car.
package.
yeah.
So, I guess the part that I'm getting at is both you guys being builders. I promise you, if I was going to both your all shops, whatever show you're getting ready to run, you're going to have a copy of the rules.
Oh, 100%.
And you're going to pick the fuck out of those rules
Highlighters.
to find those areas.
Right.
We know that. So, when you're making a rule set or you're teching these cars, I mean, I know you guys can kind of put yourself in their place.
Right.
So, I mean, if a guy is pushing those areas, even though that top of the guidelines say that shit, I mean, but you're not going to crucify somebody for trying.
No.
Because both you motherfuckers, I
Right.
promise you, have tried it.
I want them to be as competitive as they can be. I mean, I want their car to be to the rules 100%. Like, I just don't want 50 other plates that you get, 4 hours to cut off and stuff.
I'm going to use a cleanup show as an example on that. I went with, we was allowed 14 plates and I had 20. But I knew I was cutting 6 off, but I was going to cut 6 off that I didn't need.
Correct.
It was bent in other spots. And I got there, went through the tech line, and they said, if you window 2, if you window 2, you can run stock class. I said, I'm here to run street stock. They said, oh, give him a stick. Do what now? do what? They said, yeah, give him a stick. I went, oh my God, what did I just get into? But had you said that, like, you gotta, as a driver, if you're not trying to find the loophole, you're not competing anymore. But as a promoter, that's what we're trying to get rid of. It needs to go back to a driver's game and be fun, as in like last night. Like, that was fun. And if you notice, there wasn't one car there that didn't bend.
Right.
No.
They all
No, every one of them bent.
and it was pretty fair, even bending. Not one car went out and wiped the track and still straighter than an arrow or barely set back. I mean, Austin done a pretty good job last night. He's pretty consistent. I mean, he kind of nitpicked some small things that I was kind of like, what are you?
Right.
But at the end of the day, I have no complaints. Like,
Well, I hope you guys are ready because I think that you're going to have. I think that Madison is going to be a really good show. I think you're going to get several cars. I know a lot of guys that are kind of holding back a little bit or wanting to go to Shelbina. You know, we've got several buddies. That's pretty much their hometown show. And then me and you spoke the other day on the phone about a situation that's kind of going on around right now. So we're not going to get into that.
actually waiting to hear back on that.
That's the thing about those guys. They will. If you bring something out like that, what you were talking about, like I told you on the phone, I think they're going to jump right on board and make some shit happen. So.
Yeah. Bad situation.
Well, is there anything that you need to tell the guys for this week that are going to be pulling in?
Just get your cars out of the weed and get them built and get them there. I mean, come have fun.
Let's see. If they hear this on Thursday, they better be some bad son of a bitches to get her done by Saturday.
Well, I know guys that do it. I've been in the shop a couple times that built a car in 2 days.
So I pulled mine in the shop Friday.
Had a lot of late
Yuck.
nights.
I did it one time.
Yeah, I've done it many times, especially here in the last couple of weeks.
We built Gary's maroon car in 3 days from nothing. Drove it in the shop, stripped it, built it in 3 days. A couple years ago.
Yeah.
You talking about? I told Danny, I said, "Hey, I got a football game in the morning." We was working on Danny's 03 for Bowling Green, the year you won it. I said, "I got a football game in the morning. I'll stay up till about midnight or whatever, helping you. And then we'll go home and go to sleep."
Yeah.
Gary walked in the shop and he said, "You're still here?" And I went, "What time is it?" He said, 5:30. I said, "Oh, I gotta go home."
The lady's going to be pissed.
Shut the doors. You don't know what outside's doing. Don't look at your phone.
Yeah.
You ain't paying no attention.
Sparks flying and having fun. That's all you can say.
So, guys, if you have youth front-wheel drive hobo car, you can get on the Midmo Promotions page, look at the rules. It's a pretty basic set.
Yeah.
Nothing stupid. Then the full-size hobos, the same thing. Guys, if you question, you do get a lower cradle.
Yeah.
With factory, not just factory motor mounts, factory OEM motor mounts. We know people that like to play that factory game bullshit.
Kind of bushy.
Yeah.
It's got a bushing by NLR.
Yeah.
Got some big holes in them.
But yeah, this Saturday, Tech opens at noon. And if you get there at noon, unload that piece of shit.
Yeah.
Do not wait till 3 o'clock to get it off the trailer.
Won't be good.
It won't be good, boys. You've got 14 minutes to get back in there and get past Tech.
Yeah.
If not, just load it up on the trailer. Call it good.
Right.
Well, guys, thanks for coming in, hanging out with us.
Thanks for having us.
Yep.
It's been a little bit coming. Finally tried to get some schedules and stuff lined up. So, did you book flights yet?
Real close.
Real close, he says.
I think I'm famous now, though.
Are you?
Yeah.
Be
Did you
signing
see,
autographs here for long.
you see Derby Icons? They stole my picture.
Yeah, they did. I saw that yesterday. I was like, some bitches. So, guys, thank you. I hope you guys have a great Saturday of no stupid bullshit. Make Tanner and Pork Chop do all the work.
Yep.
That's the easiest way to do it. Then you guys don't have to feel all the pressure.
Right.
You got Shelbina, July 5th.
Yep.
You have
Vandalia.
August 16th.
August 16th. Shelbina again, August 23rd.
Yep.
Madison, September 13th or 14th.
13th.
That that Saturday as well, and then you'll have an October cleanup show
Right.
at Madison as well.
Possibly points championship end of September. Possibly.
Well, I'll be there Saturday. So, what about you? You gonna be there Saturday?
I don't know.
Me too.
You know
Hey,
that's it.
we're gonna make you the bad guy this time.
Well, that's fine because I'll actually be selling sticks.
Yeah.
Deal.
Didn't y'all hear we have flights to pay for?
Yeah.
That stick, $100.
Before we wrap this up, there's a few things I wanted to talk about. Freedom Hall registration opened
Yep.
Friday.
Yep.
I
Very minimal spots open
yeah.
so far.
Yep. Them moving that to a 2-day show, I think, will really be a game changer because there was a lot of stuff crammed into one day down there.
Yep.
I was tired.
Inside tech
Yep.
instead of outside tech this year. Vendors will be inside as well.
Which they've got so much facility there.
They've
to
got
utilize.
all the facility there. They've got like 42 buildings, and they're all
Yeah.
big as shit. Twisted Metal Motorsports for the rules.
Yep, and I have seen a shitload of people posting confirmation that they're gonna spot.
Yep. A lot.
Which I think that's going to be a game changer.
Yep. We've got Demo 2 that's this weekend
Yeah.
as well. If you can't be in Lima, Ohio for that, DerbyNation.tv, they're going to give you the single and the weekend package as needed. I believe that show is changed to Thursday, Friday, Saturday instead of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah.
So they're letting you get home on Sunday instead of having to do it on
I
Monday.
did see the track and it looks,
It's a big bitch.
it is.
It is a big bitch. But yeah, we got the local shit is really gone. We've had Griggsville for the Southern number 9 so far, and then we've had P Hill last night, and then 2 weeks we've got Griggsville again on June 21st.
I'm assuming we will touch on P Hill.
Yep, that'll be good next week. That'll be good next week. So, guys, thank you all for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Got any last words?
Nope.
Make junk, boys.